Brothers and sisters, dear friends, at the end of this conference about artificial intelligence and what unions can and must do about it, you would expect some conclusions from my side. But this conference, in fact, was meant to have a conversation about AI, to trigger the reflection. And since we are unionists, we think collectively, and we think together about the big challenges we deal with, and AI is certainly one of them. That is why I was in fact very surprised, and I was very happy when Professor Glauner told me that he was surprised to be here. He said, "You invited me. You invited me as a speaker who will not tell you what normally is told in union conferences, because I'm not a union man." And he said, "I have experience in Germany, and the unions in Germany will never invite me because I don't tell what they expect me to say, and they don't like what I say." And I must tell you, brothers and sisters, that I'm very happy. I consider it as a compliment, because we had a lot of speakers here whom we maybe not agree with, but we looked at the same problem from different perspectives, different angles, and that was in fact the aim of this conference, to trigger reflection, to trigger discussions, to have the conversations, and to go home, and maybe to go back home with a lot of ideas. So if you ask me, it is clear that we have to work now on two levels. The first one is, what do we do around AI on the work floor in our transport economy? And the second one was the conversation we had today about how we, as unions, use AI in our union work to grow stronger. Maybe first about what should we as unions demand. I think some elements came very clearly yesterday during the conversation we had. First of all, we talked about transparency. If an algorithm is making decisions about workers, we have the right to know how it works. No more black boxes. Secondly, collective bargaining over technology is really very important and a priority for us. AI can't just be installed in the workplace without consultation. We must make CBAs about the data use, privacy, workload, training, not only for the main company, but as our Italian friends explained us, also for the subcontractors, in fact, for the whole supply chain. And yes, we will need to build expertise as unions to do so. Third, a just transition. If jobs are lost, workers must be supported through upskilling, redeployment, income guarantees, or early retirement options. This must be a part of any technological rollout. Fourth, social dialogue. Governments, employers, and unions must work together. AI policies, whether national or sectoral, must include the voice of the workers from the start. And finally, shared gains. If AI increases productivity, then the workers must get their fair share. That means shorter working time, better pay, and investment in quality employment, not just bigger profits for shareholders. And then we have to invest in AI technology for union building. Let me give you maybe one example that was very striking for me. Some of you know that I wrote a book on international trade unionism. And I was thinking about writing a new one after 2 years of experience, talking with a lot of other union leaders, a lot of other union members all over the world. I was thinking maybe I could write a second one and take all the information and the experiences that I had with me for a second book. And I talked about it with Kurt. Kurt is my friend who is working in our union, and he is covering our social stuff. He's on Facebook, he's organizing Twitter, he's all over these things. And I asked him, could we be helped eventually by ChatGPT? He said, wait a minute. All you wrote, all you said, all the speeches you made the recent months, I already did feed them in ChatGPT. So no, I will sit down and I will write a little prompt. It took him 2 minutes. And then he asked ChatGPT, can you write a book in the name of Frank Moreels about what I feed it you? A book of 58 pages rolled out of ChatGPT. And I did read the first 10 pages and I was shocked. It was me. It was me writing. So it's quite scary, in fact. And maybe a little joke. I gave the example yesterday to Dominique Dekmijn, the journalist from the Standard, and he said, yeah, that's also a danger, of course, that it's so easy to write a book, because everybody is writing books now, even people who have nothing to tell us. I hope he was not speaking about me, but yeah. So it can be very useful for unions to use it for press releases, for example, to make better texts when we go out with a leaflet, a better leaflet to our members. So it can be very helpful, and the demonstration that Tim gave us also demonstrated us that you can do a lot of things also in our union work. So very interesting to think about that, to exchange ideas about that, and to work further on it. What I think was very important yesterday was when Baker told us about what is happening in the ILO in Geneva. There is a big conversation about platform work going on. I think we must be very present on this one, and we are not enough for the moment. For example, when I look at Belgium, we did contact our government saying what we want from this conversation, but we were not very active on lobbying and trying to influence them enough with our union views. So I think we have still a lot of work to do. But I'm very happy with this conference. I think that we learned a lot from each other. I hope that we all go home with a lot of ideas and a lot of thinking to do. And maybe we come back in a year and make an evaluation on where we are. But no, for now, I have to thank you, of course. I have to thank all of you who were attending to this conference, all our international guests participating. We had Italy, Spain, France, Denmark, Canada, Kenya, and Argentina present here. I'm very happy that some of you took a long flight for being with us, and it's very good that we did that, because it's also a purpose from us to having the exchange and having the conversation on international level. So thank you for our international guests having been here. Also to the participants, of course, of BTB, our shop stewards who are here, and of ABVV Metal. Very happy that you were with us. Already said all the speakers at the conference, big thank you. Our interpreters, without them it would not have been possible to talk with each other. The technical staff of BTB, our crew, and someone who was not thanked just up to now, Valerie, who did the moderation of this event. Thank you for everything to these people. But you know, every orchestra needs a good conductor. And you can have very good musicians. If they all play their thing and there is no conductor, it leads to nothing. And this time the conductor was Marielle, who is here in the room. Once again, conference very well organized. So big thank you to all of you. she? Ah, there she is. And as already said, it's important that we talk with each other, it's important that we discuss with each other, but it's also important that we have good moments with each other, have a drink together, chat about what you experienced the two past days, go in discussion, exchange business cards, stay in touch with each other, and have some fun after this very fruitful conference. Thank you.